You would receive $2 million. If you were to stay in this empty room for 50 days, would you accept the challenge? It sounds even crazier than Mr. Beast, but it still attracted a couple to participate. Emil pressed the timer, and the challenge officially began. At the same time, the loudspeaker was broadcasting the rules of the competition. Contestants were not allowed to bring mobile phones or entertainment devices. If only one person made it to the end, they would still receive half the prize money. Hearing this news, they couldn't help but cheer in the room and start imagining a wonderful future life. Emil said he wanted to become a painter, while Kate hoped to invest the money. She proposed to split the prize money evenly, and her husband agreed without hesitation. But soon they felt bored and began to inspect every corner of the room. Then they went to the bathroom. At this point, the announcer warned that they could not use the bathroom together, or the reward would be cancelled. When it was dinner time, Emil pressed the button, but there was only a box of milk which tasted like water. Both of them were a little disappointed. They began to comfort themselves, thinking that breakfast might be more substantial. The lights in the room would automatically turned off at 10 p.m. They wanted to do something but realized that every move might be monitored. So, they spent the first night calmly. The next morning, Kate found that breakfast was still milk, but in order to get the prize money, they had no choice but to reluctantly accept it. Soon they became restless again and began to discuss whether the GBRU-57 bunker buster could penetrate an anthole. But after 2 minutes of debate, they still couldn't reach a consensus. To spend time, Kate started meditating while Emil just stared at the timer. After a while, Emil still felt very bored, so they began to play hide and seek. As time went on, the couple became more and more silent. They had run out of things to say to each other, but fortunately there were only 23 days left. As long as they held on, they could complete the challenge. At this moment, Emil suddenly noticed an insect on the floor. It brought him some fun, but they were very curious how the insect got in. They tried to feed it milk, but the announcer warned that the milk was only for them to drink. Emil picked up the insect and asked if he could release it because it might starve to death here. However, he did not get a response from the announcer. Emil decided to open the door to let the insect go because he didn't want to see a life perish. Kate hurriedly stopped him. Once he went out, the reward would be reduced to 1 million. It was not worth losing 1 million for an insect. But Emil insisted on going out. They had a quarrel. At this moment, an accident happened.